Fingerstyle guitar. You want to play fingerstyle guitar. Good for you. It's going to take a little bit of practice. And that's okay because you're up to it. It's worth it. And to be able to play a variety of different styles of guitar is good for your development. And I'm here to give you a couple tips because I've been learning it, and I think there's some things that I was thinking about as I began to get better. And I asked myself, what is it that I'm doing differently as I started to improve? And that's what I want to share with you today. A couple things. The practice and repetitions are just goes without saying. You're going to have to develop the neural pathways between your fingers and your brain. It's a long way between your fingers and your brain, and it's just going to take some work in order to help develop those neural pathways. Secondly, it's difficult to do fingerstyle without having a relaxed hand. So you can imagine that all the repetition is going to be important for you to be able to be relaxed whenever you get into a stage situation. So that's going to be key for you, and the practice is going to give you the confidence to be able to relax. Thirdly, one important thing that is taken up in discussion groups and such is the effect of the anchor of the pinky. So should we rest the pinky, yes or no? Tommy Emmanuel taken the position that the pinky should be anchored because I believe he thinks, along with his mentor Chet Atkins, that you reduce an element of movement with the hand because the pinky is anchored. Where do you anchor it? Well, it's going to be different for everybody because of a different sized hand. So if you can imagine a square drawn over top of the sound hole, over top of the perimeter of the sound hole, the square will develop corners as you design that square. Here, 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 and here. So if you can imagine that corner of that square down there as being a place to put your pinky. You want to cut your nail on your pinky as well because you don't want to have that clearance between your nail and your fingertip. You want the finger to rest on the top of the guitar because you also don't want to have it flexing down there. You want to have it with like a semi-curl to your finger so that it will help you keep some clearance between your finger and the high E string. Other things to think about. As you're changing chords, just making sure that you're working with the proper bass note for your thumb as you change chords. So be thinking about the notes particularly as you change chords, looking for the bass note as your first note to pick. And so having an understanding of all the notes within the chord that you're looking for on the strings to determine whether you're looking to pick 4 strings or 5 strings or maybe even 6 if you're going for a big G. Other things to think about: the finger separation from the thumb. So if your pinky is anchored where it's supposed to be, we'll have enough room here to pick this note with our thumb before we bump up against the fretboard here. So we'll know we'll have a stretch out towards the base of that fretboard, and then we'll have enough space for our fingers to follow on. And as you know, those fingers should be just falling in place in the contour of your hand. See, I'm muting that one, aren't I? Because I've got some flex in my pinky on that high E string. So this is a little hodgepodge of things to be thinking about as you practice. You want structure, and you want to commit to your style in advance of drilling through all the repetitions and because that's what's going to be required for you to develop the proficiency. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this helps.